guys, welcome to another photography tips video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about taking selfies. First off, I'm going to throw a disclaimer out there because on my photography style videos, I get a lot of hate for some reason from people, so I'm just going to say, you clicked on this video to watch it, so if you don't want to learn how to take a better selfie, you can leave. Because I always get people on the photography ones going, oh, why would you waste your time, why would you bother? And the reason is because it is fun. So that's what I'm going to talk about today, because obviously I've been doing a few of these photography tips videos and you guys asked for selfies, so that's what we're doing. So just to reiterate, this is for a little bit of fun, regardless of whether you need a new Facebook profile picture or you need to trick someone into thinking that a professional took your LinkedIn photo. I've got some little tips to share with you. My first tip, and this is a big one which can make the photo look amazing or look absolutely terrible, is to find some nice lighting. Now you don't have to be using artificial light, you can of course use natural light. Natural light is beautiful. I would normally recommend aiming for the light that's either the soft bluish kind of light you see in the morning or the soft kind of rosy light that you see in the afternoon. Typically, like if you're inside this won't be much of a problem, but if you're outside, the harsh midday sunlight can cause some pretty nasty shadows on your face. And those are usually quite unflattering. But the thing is, you can definitely play around with it. Like I find a lighting that works nicely on females is that soft, even lighting, and a lighting that works really, really well on men and does that whole masculine look is split lighting, where one side is in shadow and one side is in the light. I've got a hair on me. So you can of course play with shadows, but just a simple, easy, base level tip is just to use nice even lighting. It will make your skin look really good, it will shine into your eyes as well, and it's just very flattering. My next tip is to pay attention to your background. So just be mindful of what you've got going on, because I don't know, have you seen those like compilation photos on the internet of all the failed selfies where there's just gross stuff going on in the background? Keep an eye out for that. Obviously there's probably no revolutionary tricks or tips, these are just things that I like to do. And sometimes I like to include elements of standard portraiture, you know, stuff that I learned when I was doing photography full time, and kind of implement them a little bit. Now, human brains are super weird, and this is the reason that retouching typically exists. If you take a still photo of someone and someone else looks at it, they'll sit there and their brain just sits and picks out the flaws. It's just a human trait, it's how you identify different people, it's something that our brain just does. Frontal photos can be really, really great, but most people aren't completely symmetrical. No one's really completely symmetrical, but if your features are very different on each side of your face, like if you have one high eyebrow and one low eyebrow, then that will be very, very exaggerated if you're taking a photo that's front on. Whereas if you're turning to the side, that could be a little more flattering. I know for myself, because my hair is parted on the side, I like to turn to this side a little bit, so many of my selfies are at this angle, but I find this quite flattering on the jaw and on my nose, and I can arch my brow a little bit, because they're my features that I really like. I'm just going to quickly touch on having a good side and a bad side of your face when it comes to taking a photo. You'll find typically that when you lean to the camera, there's one way that you look far more confident, so I tend to think this way works a little bit better for me. But everyone is different. Have a play around and see which side is going to suit your face better. Because when you're taking a photo of yourself, it's the same as if you were taking a photo of someone else. You want to bring out the best traits. Something else that I like to do, especially if I'm taking like thumbnail images for YouTube, is I like to pop a little reflector underneath me. I've lost it. Go back. So I find for myself, this helps fill in any dark shadows that I might have cast on my skin. And also because my eyes are blue, they reflect the light really, really well. Reflectors, I'd probably only recommend it if you're seriously taking a photo, or if you're, you know, doing portraiture, or you're taking like makeup photos for a portfolio or something like that. You can get some for around $50. The bigger ones are a little bit more. I have a double-sided one. One side is gold and one side is silver. I find the silver side suits me. The gold side works really, really well on those with darker complexions. You can take a similar approach with objects throughout your house. So in one of my old places, I had a white table, and so I would stand above that, and the table was next to the window. So the light would be coming in the window, which was that nice, soft, flattering light, and then I'd have the white table below me, which was reflecting the light back up. I also quickly wanted to touch on the angle of the camera. I know myself, like if I've got my vlogging camera and I'm filming, or even if I'm just taking a photo on my phone, which is, you know, how I usually take my selfies. So if I'm taking a photo from down here, I look like a thumb. I don't have the strongest jawline in the world, so it's not very flattering for me to take a photo. Even from down there, that's too low for me, personally. If you have a strong jawline, go for it. I like to take my photos from like level here, or slightly above. If you're going too far, you go into MySpace territory. down here usually works quite well. As for equipment, like I was saying, you don't need anything crazy because really who has time to pull out like a full frame camera to take a selfie? Not me. Finally, as for editing photos, I don't like those apps that just like blow your skin and stuff like that. Like you can see in my photos whenever I do have like a pimple or anything, I'm kind of just like, yeah, no one can notice. But what I normally use is I'll take the photos on my phone. Sometimes I use manual, the camera app, and sometimes I just use a normal camera. And then I pop it into, there's like Photoshop Express, and with that it has like really good sharpening options, and I really like to sharpen my photos. And then I like to make sure I'm increasing the contrast and increasing the highlights, which are making the whites look a little bit whiter. But overall, this is just for a bit of fun, so these are just some of my favorite tips that I like to use on a regular basis. And I hope you're able to take some flattering photos with it. If you do end up taking some selfies using any of these tips, feel free to tag me in the photo. I've been going through the posts that you guys tagged me in, and I'll pop it up here, but I wanted to feature some images because the last photo video that I did was on how to take better photos of your food, and you guys were tagging me in your photos and showing me some of the photos of your food. So I've decided what I'll do at the end of these videos, I'm just going to share with you guys some of the images that I've been tagged in. It's easier if you tag me in the actual image itself, then I can go back and find it. Otherwise, sometimes I miss the notifications. So these are some of the awesome food photos that I've been seeing coming through. If you end up using any of my selfie tips, feel free to tag me in those ones too. And the next time I do a photos video, I will share my favorites. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed those tips. And what else do you want to see in the photos photography series? I've done food, I've done flat lays, I've done taking photos with your phone, and now I've done selfies. So what else would you guys like to see? Leave me a comment below, and don't forget to hit subscribe if you enjoyed this video and you're new to my channel, because I will be continuing this video series. I hope you've all been really well, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!